Hello everybody, today I'm gonna give you the best glove combos for every single Nomad knife. So I'm gonna go from the cheapest knife to the most expensive Nomad knife in CS2. And for every single knife, I'm gonna give you 1, 2, 3 options for the best gloves. No matter what your price range is, if you want cheap gloves, expensive gloves, doesn't matter. Your budget will be in here for sure. The only thing I ask you to do is to please subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy this. And let's just get started with all the knives. Okay, we start off with the Nomad Knife Sapphire Mesh. And I would either go with this one with the racing green. The green blends well very good together. The only thing is that the green is a little bit darker than the knife itself. For the second choice would be to go for the Hydra Gloves Rattler. I think these ones will also look very good and maybe even better than the racing green. Next up we have the Nomad Knife Boreal Forest. And for this one I would go for the Hydra Gloves Emerald. This is also a cheap one. Or I would go for any one of the ones I showed you 5 seconds before. And the same would go for this knife, which is the Nomad Knife Forest DDPAT. They all look the same. The same for the Sapphire Mesh, the Forest, and the DDPAT. They all look the same, so I would go for the same gloves. The Emerald, the Rattler, or the racing green. Alright, and next up we have the Nomad Knife Night Stripe. This is a very cool one. I would go for the hand wraps duct tape. I think these ones look very good with it, especially the way that they blend together. My second option for a cheap price, which I think look very good but people hate, is this one, the Broken Fang gloves Unhinged. I think these ones actually look very cool, unlike people that don't like this gloves, but I think you should give this one a very good try. And now for the Nomad Knife Urban Musk, I would honestly say the same. This one looks very good with the Broken Fang Unhinged gloves. As you can see, for this one the silver blends very well together and it looks very cool, especially on the right where you see the handle. And if you try to find any other cheap gloves, the best one would be the hand wraps duct tape. These ones also look very good with this knife and any white knife. If you do have the money, I would go for something like the Moto Gloves Smokeout. I think this looks very good and you won't see any knuckle scratches even if it's field tested or battle scarred. Then for the Nomad Knife Scorched, I would run the Broken Fang gloves Unhinged. I think these ones look very good together. And my second option will be the hand wraps Caution, and I think if you have the budget for it, these ones will look pretty cool. But I feel like this combo is pretty underrated and it actually looks pretty good. I think the Broken Fang gloves Yellow Bandit also don't look very bad with this one. As you can see, yellow and black go pretty well together with this skin. For the Nomad Knife Stained, I would go for the hand wraps duct tapes. These one will look very good for a very cheap price. Of course, the Unhinged will also look good, but we've already seen that, so we'll go over this one quickly. And then I would say if you have the budget for it, I would go for the Specialist Glove Mogul. This look very good, especially when you're inspecting it and when you're holding it steadily like this. The colors, the different colors also blend well very good together. And then lastly, the Specialist Gloves LT Commander also look pretty good with the Stained, especially when you're inspecting it. It looks very nice with this one. If you're running the Nomad Knife Rust Coat in a very battle scarred condition, the only gloves which I would run is the hand wraps Desert Schmagov, or however you call it. These ones look very good, but these are hand wraps. So if you want gloves instead, I would honestly go for the Special Glove Buckshot. This one is pretty underrated and I don't see this very often in game, but I think it actually looks pretty good the way that the design is on here. It's pretty cool. And then lastly, if you do have the money for it, I would go for the Specialist Gloves Tiger Strike. This one looks very cool with the white part and the brown parts. I think this one is the best one for the rust coat in my opinion for this cheap price. For the Nomad Knife Blue Steel, I would buy the Specialist Gloves Marble Fade. This one look very good with it because the Marble Fade has a lot of blue, and even in battle scarred condition this one is still gonna look pretty nice. Otherwise, I would go for the Field Agent if you want the colors to blend well together. This one, especially with a little bit of yellow, brings a very nice contrast. If you are a fan of hand wraps though, I think the Cobalt Skulls actually look very good. Even though people hate the hand wraps, this one with the bright color and the dark color is a very well combination. Another cool combination which I wanted to show was the Driver Gloves Snow Leopard, or you can go for the Driver Gloves King Snake. These are both white and look pretty cool with the blue steel. And while we got the Snow Leopards on anyway, for the Nomad Knife Damascus Steel, I would run the Snow Leopards, or the King Snakes will look both very good. White gloves will look very good with those. For example, my favorite is to just go for the Smokeout. Cheap gloves, even in worse condition, you will not see the knuckles have any damage, and this one look pretty nice in my opinion. And if you are going for the Nomad Knife Ultraviolet, you of course have to go for the Driver Gloves Imperial Plate. This one will be the best looking one for this knife and honestly the only option. Guys, I don't like the Nomad Knife Case Hardened. I don't think it looks cool. Only of course if you have a blue pattern, but no one will be able to buy a blue pattern. So I think just go for the Hydra Gloves Case Hardened with this, or you can go for any blue gloves. Alright, for the Nomad Knife Tiger 2, one of my favorite finishes, we have of course a Driver Gloves Overtake. These are one of the most popular ones and they are for the reason because they just look very cool. If you want to be a bit more fancy, the Sport Gloves Big Game is an upgrade of the Overtake and look pretty nice in my opinion. This one blends very well together and even in worse floats, this glove will look very good. But if you have the money for it, I would still go for the Sport Gloves Omega. This one will look very very nice with it. They're, to be honest, a little bit too yellow for me. So perhaps the best option would be the sports glove Arid, and these ones would be the top 10 out of 10 decision in my opinion. For the Nomad Knife Crimson Web, of course, you have to go for the Crimson as gloves. There is no thinking about this. These are going to look very good and are like the cheapest option for you. And to be honest, the only upgrade I would do is to go for the slingshots, but these are like $500 even in field test condition. So either go for the Crimson Web, best option for the cheap one, or the slingshot is also going to be pretty cool. Then for the Nomad Knife Slaughter, if you have the money for it, the slingshot is going to be the best option for this one. This looks super sexy and super clean. And don't ask me why, many people will not agree with me on this one, but I think the bronze morph actually look pretty cool with this one, with the Slaughter. They're about $150. They're pretty affordable, and this is actually a pretty unique combo. And if you're looking for just the red skin, you can either go for the driver gloves Raisin the Red, which is fully red, or this one, the Scarlet Shmagov, or Shmagov, however you call it. This one will be the best one if you're just going for a red and black. I know you guys will not like it, but if you're running the Nomad Knife Marble Fade, the hand drops caution are actually pretty cool in my opinion. If you like hand drops, I would go for these hand wraps. Otherwise, I would say one of the best options is perhaps the Sport Gloves Amphibious. These ones are pretty expensive, but these ones will look cool with any Doppler or Marble Fade. A cheaper option which will always look good is of course the Special Gloves Marble Fade. They're literally made for each other, and that's why they look good together so beautifully. For the Nomad Knife Fade, I would honestly go for the Sport Gloves Arid. I think this would be one of the best combos for these Fade, because it starts with the yellow part, and these gloves also start with like the light yellow part, so they blend really good together. You can also go for the Mega. These don't go that well together, but it still is a viable option. It's pretty decent. On the other hand, I fuck with the Snow Leopards, the driver glove Snow Leopards, very heavily. I think white and fade is, for some reason, is very cool, especially because the handle is gray and the gloves are then white. I think this looks pretty cool together. And for the Vanilla Knife, I would also go for white gloves. So for example, the Snow Leopard is gonna be a good option for this one. For example, the King Snake can also be a good option, but if you're running the Vanilla Knife, I would not run like any crazy colors like the Amphibious gloves or anything like that. I mean, the Nomad Vanilla Knife is pretty basic, so I would also go for a little bit more basic glove. Alright, and now if you're running a Nomad Knife Doppler Phase 3 or 4, so that's the blue Doppler effect, you of course have to go for the Sport Gloves Amphibious. These look absolutely insane. This is like a dream combo for many people, and I can see why. Another one which I like is the Hand Wraps Cobalt Skulls. These ones look very cool together, especially in this phase. You could of course also go for any white gloves, maybe the Snow Leopard. These ones will look very well together. As you can see, this doesn't look that bad, but of course I would go for the Amphibious gloves or the hand wraps in my opinion. And ooh la la, if you're running the Nomad Knife Doppler Phase 2, the Phase 2 is one of my favorite phases and one of my favorite skins, I would go for the Sport Gloves Phase. These go absolutely cool together, but this may not even be the best option, because we also have the Imperial Plates ones. These are purple and these ones are pink, so these are literally made for each other. This is a very cool option, but the Vice will also be one of my favorite. These are both like the same goodness in quality. And then lastly, you might already know, but if you're running the Nomad Knife Doppler Ruby, which is an all red knife, of course go for the Sport Gloves Slingshot. This is going to be the best option by far, also in my opinion. This one, you know, if you have the money for the Ruby, you might as well go for the slingshots. Okay, that should be all for today's video. If you really enjoyed this, please subscribe. That's the only thing you can do. Thank you so much for watching this. Bye bye.